Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the NXT Championship.
Rollins about to tap. Rollins about to, oh, wait a minute. Ambrose and Reigns protecting Rollins. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, calling on for some reinforcements. Oh my God. How effective will they be? What do you do? How do you keep these three men from commandeer? Oh, Big E Langston.
Seth, you're going to defend the NXT title next week against Big E right here in this ring.
Well, as per Dusty Rhodes, tonight Seth Rollins puts his NXT Championship on the line in a no disqualification match against the one-man army Big E Langston. Will Rollins remain the one and only superstar to hold the NXT title? We'll find out tonight.
Introducing first at a total combined weight of 464 pounds, the team of Percy Watson and Yoshi Tatsu.
And welcome inside the NXT arena here in Orlando, Florida. I'm Tom Phillips, ringside here with the one and only William Regal, and tremendous news that we just heard. The possibilities that just opened up with our main event.
No disqualifications, but that doesn't stop the Shield being on the outside. It's going to be interesting to watch.
Well, before we get to our main event tonight, we will first see tag team action. Percy Watson and Yoshi Tatsu going up against the Wyatt family.
I'm so tired of being treated like a piece of trash. I can give you hope. I can give your life meaning. I can give you strength. I'm about to head off a snake just to taste this poison. For I know that when we are alone, we are weak and frail. But when we come together, when we unite, we are strong. We are dangerous. We are family. Make me proud, boys.
One of the most bizarre pairings we've ever seen here on NXT. Bray Wyatt obviously at the helm of this runaway train. I mean, these two individuals in the ring, Luke Harper, the Blackbeard, and the giant man in that jumpsuit is Eric Rowan. These two sick individuals make up the Wyatt family.
I wish I had the verbiage to describe the feeling here in the NXT arena. It's just very, very disturbing.
And you could hear what Bray Wyatt said. He wants his family to make him proud. I mean, the things that he's asking of these two when they go into the ring is just incredibly sadistic. And
both of these men, well over 6'6", 6'7", both over 300 pounds, and just monsters. And I'm trying to think of a polite way of saying this. They're monsters. They seem a little not quite right.
Pair of Leviathans.
And when you're not quite right and you're a monster and you've got somebody that will lead you and somebody that's got obviously a warp streak, that makes you very dangerous.
Well, Percy Watson gets the tag from Tatsu and comes in strong against Rowan. And you could say this is a matchup of power versus speed. Big time drop kick from Percy Watson.
And as incredible an athlete and the power that Percy Watson has in his dropkick, he was only able to knock Eric Rowan slightly to one knee. That shows you what kind of a ferocious animal Eric Rowan is.
Cheap shot there from Luke Harper, and the referee had his back turned. Now pounding away on the defenseless Watson. Watson told me earlier he believes he is the perfect combination of size and speeds, and that he's out there competing with a chip on his shoulder. Tag made there as Harper and Rowan continue to isolate Tatsu and Watson.
The referee's only got one pair of eyes. It's very easy for us to say that, well, the referee should see this or see that, and anybody sat at home, but you know, he's being, they're obviously not that different, that they don't know how to control the referee. One of them kept the other one busy.
And of course, Bray Wyatt, the one in control, who seems to have corrupted the minds of these two men, running the show so far, sitting up there on his rocking chair.
I've never seen anybody rock so eerily since that film Psycho.
Oh.
I mean, we just sat here, and I'm scared. It's quite frightening, to be honest with you.
Well, the teamwork, if you can call it that, surprising between Rowan and Harper. And another hold on the head of Percy.
We don't know anything about these two. We don't know about Eric Rowan or Luke Harper. We don't know if he's corrupted them. We don't know where they've come from. I think you need to do a bit more research on this. I'm not getting anywhere near it.
Take a look at Eric Rowan. You've seen him. We saw him a couple weeks ago. He counts to himself, William. What can that be about? That's not a normal human being. Big time blow to the back there, Percy Watson and Tatsu. You can see how frustrated he is in the corner. Luke Harper tags in off of Rowan and just pinning Percy to the turnbuckle.
Percy Watson is a standout athlete in NXT. I mean, just an incredible specimen. But look at the way he's being manhandled by these two ferocious, just beasts.
Harper and Rowan going to work. They've got Percy Watson in all sorts of trouble right now. Tatsu only had a quick run at him, now trying to get the crowd going.
There's great method to the madness here, though. Look at the way that Luke Harper's got his body between Percy Watson and his partner Tatsu. They're obviously not that different. I'm trying to, is that the right word, different?
You're right. Watson gets the tag.
I want to say mental, but I'll probably get chastised for it.
Big chops to the chest of Harper. And now putting those educated feet to work. Nice drop kick, and that's what you have to do against the big men. You got to chop them down bit by bit. Oh!
Yoshi showing his great aggression.
Tatsu with the cover, and broken up by Rowan. A heightened sense of urgency from Tatsu. The team in trouble, and Percy Watson comes in to break things up. Oh! Left all alone with Luke Harper. I think he could taste leather on that one. Oh! A tremendous blow to the head.
Tatsu knocks everybody out that he kicks with that, but it's just barely done anything to Luke Harper.
The spinning drop kick misses. Harper has Tatsu down on his knees. Full head of steam. Oh my gosh. Oh, club to the floor. The cover. This might do it. And the win for the Wyatt family as Bray Wyatt looks on.
Family.
Well, when Luke Harper just hit Tatsu there, it sounded like a car crash on the Autobahn. I mean, if he hasn't got a crushed larynx now, but look at these two, the way they're looking at Bray Wyatt.
Unbelievably obedient.
If I had a bit more courage, I would try and find out more about them and go and talk to Bray Wyatt. I'll be honest,
I wouldn't suggest that. I wouldn't press your luck there, William. These two are clearly firmly under the control of Bray Wyatt.
Seth Rollins has been the one and only NXT champion. Will all that change when Rollins goes one-on-one in a no disqualification match against Big E Langston for the NXT Championship tonight? But coming up next, Paige puts her undefeated streak on the line as the anti-diva goes up against the first ever diva from Australia. It's Paige and Emma, straight ahead on NXT.
The following contest is a divas match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Melbourne, Australia, Emma.
Welcome back inside the NXT arena, set for Divas action. We are here ringside, Tom Phillips with William Regal. And don't forget, our main event tonight is going to be Astro astronomical. The NXT title is on the line. Seth Rollins versus the challenger, Big E Langston, and Dusty Rhodes. Our gracious general manager has declared that it is no disqualifications.
What on earth is she doing?
Her opponent from Norwich, England, Paige.
Well, whatever it is she's doing, Paige is set to maybe put an end to it here.
The enchanting raven-haired lady.
NXT's most popular diva, the anti-diva.
Why not?
With the anti-Barbie army behind her.
And Paige is yet to lose here on NXT.
A lot of tension here between these two divas as they look to knock it out of each other. And tossing Emma is Paige.
Paige, I mean, she's just become a sensation here in NXT. She's more popular, especially here in the United States, than Kate Middleton.
That's a
What's
big
her name?
statement.
What's her name?
Kate
Windsor.
Middleton.
It's Windsor,
Is
isn't
it Windsor?
I think so. Why would you want to say vile things about dear Paige there?
I can't imagine.
Because you know that, I mean, we can say all we want about Paige is you know, skin's like ivory and all that other things, but
looking for the cover.
She will quite happily kick your head in. I mean, she's got a mean streak.
And it looks like the knee of Paige has been injured, and Emma looking to go to work here. Emma, the first diva ever to come out of Australia, doesn't believe in luck, thinks she creates her own opportunities, and she's looking to get this. Here's the cover.
Listen, that's one thing about Paige. She wasn't, you know, born to cook breakfasts and things. She was born to fight.
Right.
And that's what she does really well. So why antagonize her? I mean, that's coming from an antagonist. But why, you know what I mean? What on earth is this?
That dance again.
Goodness gracious me.
William, you know how people say dance like nobody's watching?
Yes.
I don't think anybody wants to watch that.
Well, it's different.
And again, working on the injured knee of Paige. Emma, very smart here.
Very effective, though. I mean, she can't dance, but she certainly knows how to wrestle.
And breaking the count there before being disqualified, more importantly.
Those Australians, they've always got a bit of a mean streak in them as well.
Paige looking to swipe away at Emma and still working that knee. Emma has mentioned several times on social media how she is looking to start the Emma-lution.
Very nice half crab, single leg Boston there. Well applied. And do you know why it's well applied?
Tell me why.
She was taught by my old tag partner, Lance Storm.
Wow.
And that was his speciality hold.
Former
obviously
WWE superstar.
From Calgary, Alberta, Canada. A great place to learn, by the way, if you ever need to learn.
A tremendous champion.
Yes, he was, because he was with me.
Oh! Huge kick to the gut with the injured leg. Paige still fighting back. Oh! Right on her head did Emma go. The cover, 2 count, and that did it. The Paige turner puts away Emma. Well, Paige promised a New Year's revolution for the Emma-lution, and that proof right there in the middle of the squared circle.
That was good. You must have said all night
She
thinking
said it
about
in the
that.
interview. I was entranced by the raven-haired lady.
I'm entranced.
I can't believe
Everybody's
I remembered
enchanted by
anything.
it. Very enchanting lady.
Take a look at the Paige turner. The back of the neck right onto the canvas. And Paige picking up yet another victory. Nonetheless, Paige, the leader of the anti-Barbie army, continues her undefeated streak here on NXT.
Still to come on NXT, it's a no disqualification match set up by Dusty Rhodes, Seth Rollins, the one-man army, Big E Langston, the NXT title on the line. But up next, tag team action as 2 third-generation superstars Michael McGillicutty and Bo Dallas go up against former WWE Tag Team Champions Epico and Primo. That match is next.
My name is Adrian Neville. They call me the man that gravity forgot. Now when I make my debut on NXT next week, you're gonna find out exactly why.
Dallas stemming from an altercation last week as Bo Dallas went head-to-head with Epico. Bo Dallas came up with the win, but ultimately things turned sour after the match, William.
Yes, but it was a match that could have gone either way, quite frankly. Very competitive. All second and third generation wrestlers in some points that are going to be in contention in this match, and it's enthralling for me. I think that the Colognes here, they definitely have the upper hand because they've actually been competing long.
Their opponents, at a total combined weight of 457 pounds, the team of Bo Dallas and Michael McGillicutty.
Well, Bo Dallas, after vanquishing Epico, appeared he was going to be on the wrong end of a 2-on-1 assault for Primo and Epico, but if it weren't for Michael McGillicutty, he would have been a sitting duck. McGillicutty rushing to his aid, and I spoke to Michael McGillicutty in the locker room, and he said, you know what, I saw what he did, calling out anyone in the locker room. He had a tremendous bout with the Big Show. I have a lot of respect for this guy, and 2-on-1 just isn't right.
2 third-generation competitors as well. You never see that anywhere else apart from in the WWE. And here at NXT, I believe this is the first time that they've ever teamed together.
Outstanding lineage inside the squared circle right now, as you can see the tensions already getting started.
We have that lineage, but I also think that the Colognes here, Primo and Epico, have the advantage because they've been a team longer. They've actually been competing longer. And that sometimes is the key.
Well, they have the experience, but the home field advantage, you could say, going to Michael McGillicutty and Bo Dallas, as this NXT Arena crowd seems to be right behind him.
I've never been a great one for that home field advantage nonsense. I mean, you compete, doesn't matter where you compete.
The son of Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, the Hall of Famer. This is Michael McGillicutty in the middle of the ring, Mr. Intensity. And after what we saw from Bo Dallas last week, both of these men have tremendous intensity, tremendous tenacity inside the ring.
All Michael McGillicutty needs is the right place in the right time because he truly has everything. He's just such a superior competitor. I love watching him. I've said it for over a year now that he just doesn't realize how good he is yet. I think he's starting to realize that.
And of course, we're all anxious for our main event tonight. Champion versus challenger. Seth Rollins will put his NXT title up for grabs against Big E Langston. And as of GM Dusty Rhodes declare, it is no disqualifications after the melee that broke out last week.
Well, Big E is yet to lose. That's yet. We have an incredible force that he has to face tonight. It'll be interesting. Let's put it that way.
Well, back inside the ring, Michael McGillicutty has things firmly in control. Tag made now as Primo gonna head out at the behest of his cousin, and that headlock cinched in.
When Michael McGillicutty cinches a headlock, look at the size of his forearms. He crushes your ear as well. That's one of those tricks that you learn from being a second and third generation competitor. You're not just applying a headlock, you're crushing somebody's ear at the same time. Watch now if we get a shot of it. You see the way his forearms just crushing the ear, which it's incredibly painful to have your ear sort of crushed and cauliflowered.
And another tag made there in between the two cousins. Primo now in the middle of things with Michael McGillicutty, and we have yet to see Bo Dallas in the middle of the ring. It's going to be exciting to see what he does after the wrongs done to him last week, or almost done to him last week, I should say.
Michael McGillicutty's ancestors migrated to Minnesota. They're all Norwegians. They have that incredible strength.
Looking for the cover, and a quick kick out there from Primo. And again into that headlock.
The size of the hands on Michael McGillicutty as well. That's one thing they both have in common, Bo Dallas. Well, a lot of things in common, but they've both got huge hands like bloody buckets.
And tremendous aggression coming from Michael McGillicutty. Smart technical offense here to get things started in this tag team matchup. And McGillicutty and Dallas, the makings of one of the better tag teams perhaps in NXT. And a full head of steam now, and again, the ground and pound offense from Michael McGillicutty has stunned Primo and Epico. And the cover, momentarily there for a second, the shoulders down, Primo manages to escape. William, what do you make of the pairing of Dallas and McGillicutty early on? It's still early.
Well, I could state the obvious, but I honestly think that we could be seeing one of the greatest teams of all time if they decide to stay as a team together. I truly believe that, yeah. It's just a matter if their careers dictate that for them. Sometimes you want to go off on your own in singles. If these two stick together, once they get used to each other and start learning how to work as a team, who's going to stop them?
Looking for the cover, hook to the leg, just the one count.
They've got so much energy, so much ability, so much knowledge.
And we'll see who can come out on top in this one. NXT rolls on after this. Welcome back inside the NXT arena as Bo Dallas has gotten into the fold. Looking for a cover, 2 count, and kicking out is Epico.
We saw all the debilitating headlocks that Michael McGillicutty kept applying all the way through. And this is what we were talking before the break about if they become a very great team together and work together. No wasted motion here by Bo Dallas. Straight in, straight back onto the head and neck area. It's already worn out and worn down. So why not take advantage of it? That's what a lot of teams wouldn't do.
And this currently in the ring, a bit of a rematch from what happened last week on NXT as Epico fell to Bo Dallas. And then after the match, it looked like Primo and Epico were going to come back and maybe lay the wood to Bo Dallas, but Michael McGillicutty interrupted, thus laying the groundwork for this tag team matchup. Epico in a world of trouble. Bo Dallas looking to pound away in the corner, getting the crowd behind him, and now Primo providing the distraction. And there's that family rapport you mentioned earlier, William.
We've talked about what a great team Michael McGillicutty and Bo Dallas could be and are. Well, showing us that they are. But I have to still go with Primo and Epico because they've got far more experience together.
Well, the entire WWE universe is buzzing about our main event tonight. The NXT title on the line. Seth Rollins versus Big E Langston. No disqualifications after the brawl we saw last week on NXT. GM Dusty Rhodes made the match, and this week said no disqualifications. What does that do for the odds for Big E Langston? I mean, the Shield's going to be all out there.
They're going to be all out there, but we know the kind of power and the ferocity that Big E Langston possesses. The Shield are very smart competitors. They're not going to go into this lightly, nor is Big E Langston. I'm going to leave it and see what happens.
This NXT arena crowd looking forward to it. Now Primo with the cover, 2 count, and rolling away is Dallas. And now Primo, that experience, looking to put it into work here as now Bo Dallas in a little bit of trouble. Tag made, in comes Epico. Michael McGillicutty steaming in the corner as that drop kick hit Pater. Looking for the cover. 2 count, and kicking out again is Dallas.
That drop kick, both feet right on the side of the head of Bo Dallas. I mean, it's just picture perfect.
And another cover, almost has it, and Epico can't seem to put him away.
You see the way Epico, that drop kick was, as we just said, right on the side of the head and the ear. When he covered, Bo Dallas said he used the bone of his forearm against that ear again, and now he's pushing on the side of the head again. It's all no wasted motion, great competing.
And for Bo Dallas, this is something he strangely enjoys. We saw last week receiving the punches to the face from Epico. He really liked it. Here's another cover, and Bo manages to squirm away again.
You hear me say this a lot, but because I've been in America now for 20 years, actually this month, I know Bo's father. And he used to always tell him, years ago, he was always in trouble. Bo Dallas was always fighting and causing trouble. He just loves it. He's a menace, to be honest with you. He likes a bit of trouble.
Loves to fight. And now stuck in the corner yet again. Primo and Epico really going to work on the midsection of Bo Dallas. And Bo looks like he's barely conscious there in the corner as Michael McGillicutty trying to get some help from the official. Big kick to the gut there. Dallas looking to fight back. Maybe turning the tide here in this tag team matchup.
You see the way that those punches from Bo Dallas were actually lifting Epico off the ground. That's the kind of punching power that he has.
And another tag made. And there's that teamwork yet again. Big time leg drop from Primo. Primo looking for the cover. He might have it here. And Bo Dallas, the resiliency to power out. And look at this submission maneuver, William.
Now we know that Primo's done his homework here. Obviously back to the head and neck area that's already worn down, but sitting on the lower back and putting that tension on. We all know that Bo Dallas had a split kidney less than a year ago. He still must be susceptible in that lower back area.
And yet another tag made is Epico going after his newfound rival here. Now Primo back into the ring. The quick tags making quick work of Bo Dallas are the two Puerto Rican cousins. Oh! And that one gone awry. The drop kick meant for Dallas, instead connecting with Epico. Dallas has it opening. Mr. Intensity going to work. Dropping bombs on Primo. Into the corner. McGillicutty rallies with a huge clothesline.
That wasn't a clothesline, that was a bloody lariat, son.
Oh.
Saito suplex.
The thrashing right there into the canvas. Oh. Now looking for the cover, stacked on top. And pulling him off was Epico. Now Epico looking to bash Dallas outside of the ring. And there goes Epico. And the backstabber from Primo. Primo, could he have it here? The cover on McGillicutty, yes!
Here are your winners, the team of Primo and Epico.
An unbelievable showing from Primo and Epico in this match, somehow coming away with the win there. And McGillicutty and Dallas have to be a little bit disappointed, but a tremendous effort.
I think a great learning experience, though. If Bo Dallas and Michael McGillicutty are going to stay as a team together, I think this was a learning curve for them. They'll come back better and stronger than ever. I'm glad I saw the greatness of Primo and Epico there, the Colognes. They showed their superior teamwork and skill. Good for them.
And take a look at this towards the end of the match. Michael McGillicutty cleaning house and then caught with his eyes out on the ring. The backstabber putting things away for Primo and Epico. Well, Bo Dallas and Michael McGillicutty, mutual respect between the two. They'll live to see another day.
Up next on NXT, it's Seth Rollins and Biggie Langston for the NXT Championship. Can Rollins survive the onslaught of the mighty Langston? The no disqualification is next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the NXT Championship.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Jim Ross alongside William Regal for a main event that we have been anxiously awaiting for 7 days since the American Dream Dusty Rhodes made this match a no disqualification match. Seth Rollins defending his NXT Championship. And William, we saw last week that the Shield had the opportunity to accost, to approach, to physically engage Big E Langston. They chose at that time to refrain. But also we can say that the Shield has had 7 days to comprise a game plan to ensure that Seth Rollins leaves here tonight with the NXT Championship intact.
I'm a soldier, yeah, I told ya. I'm on a mission, I'm switching, I'm all over. I'm a soldier, yeah, I told ya. I'm on a mission, I'm switching. Listen, I'm trouble, yeah, I can't keep.
It is rare, ladies and gentlemen, in my career that I have seen an individual that possesses the raw intensity, the complete lack of fear for anything, anyone, any entity, as we see and have seen here on NXT in Big E Langston. He is a man with a documented 575-pound bench press.
800-pound deadlift.
And to go with that amazing strength, we find a man with agility and quickness. So Seth Rollins, who is such a skilled mat wrestler, submission wrestler, all-round competitor, the very first NXT champion,
I'm a submission expert, but how do you get a submission on somebody the size of Big E Langston? Doesn't matter how good you are, you can't bend his arms, you can't bend his neck. It's too thick and powerful. I'm telling you, I see that. That makes Big E Langston somebody. I don't know. What do you do?
Well, if you can't figure out how to,
I honestly couldn't.
Perhaps this man submit, then I certainly would have no idea. And I wonder what's going through the mind right now of Seth Rollins. NXT Championship about to be decided.
Introducing the participants in this no disqualification matchup for the NXT Championship. Introducing first, the challenger. From Tampa, Florida, weighing 295 pounds, Big E Langston. And his opponent, from Davenport, Iowa, weighing 210 pounds, he is the NXT champion, Shield member, Seth Rollins.
As we mentioned last week, Rollins has had an amazing metamorphosis in his career, his approach, his ideals, his mindset, since joining Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, his fellow members of the Shield.
And I think he's all the better for it, Jim, to be quite honest with you. We know, we've seen time and time again here on NXT how capable and incredible Seth Rollins can be when the bell goes. But now he's got that vicious streak. It makes him a whole different person.
We have seen on,
competitor.
excuse me, William, we have seen on Monday Night Raw, we have seen on pay-per-view the damage the Shield can do. And now Rollins trying a single leg takedown. And one thing one could assume is that Rollins must do what he can to destroy the vertical base of Big E Langston, and that is one way to approach this amazing freak of nature, Big E Langston.
It seems to be the only way that you can look at with any kind of a strategy, because look at grabbing him around the neck. It doesn't matter what you do. He's a man with a 23-inch neck. How can you possibly, you can't constrict his neck. You can't put a neck lock on him.
Big E completely overpowering the NXT champion, and that's a mistake. Rollins had dodged a massive cannon shot, and that ring post is very unforgiving for Big E Langston or anyone else. And Rollins trying a snapmare. Look at the power, the military press, and Rollins thrown outside. The NXT champion being physically abused and manhandled thus far, we should say, by the challenger for the championship.
Now then.
Oh, wait a minute. There's Ambrose and Reigns. Remember, it's no disqualification. The referee cannot ring the bell. This is a no disqualification matchup. So now we have, in essence, Big E Langston trying to fight through a handicap match for the NXT title. And with great force and velocity, with malice aforethought, the challenger Big E Langston tastes the steel from Ambrose and Reigns. Can Big E survive and win the NXT title? We'll find out when we come back.
They are global entertainers, professionally trained athletes, WWE superstars, but they are not invincible. When they step into that ring, they take real risks and endure unimaginable pain. Broken bones, torn muscles, dislocations, separations. Be smart, be safe. Don't try this at home.
We are back on NXT. This is our main event. Seth Rollins, the defending NXT champion, against Big E Langston in a championship matchup. During the commercial break, the team, the unit, the faction of the Shield having their way physically with Big E Langston. And it's amazing to me that Big E has not already succumbed to essentially a 3-on-1 attack in this title matchup.
But that shows you what kind of a competitor Big E is. We've had 3 incredibly skillful men beating him down, but he's still surviving.
Remember, it's no disqualification. During the commercial break, that physical beatdown by that man, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, all focused on Big E Langston, who is in a submission situation here.
We've seen Big E get smashed off the corner post, smashed off the steel stairs, but he's still here, and that's it's incredible. It's astounding to watch.
It's hard to fathom that another human being wouldn't have already been defeated here, as Big E has been grounded, and you have to be respectful and admire the game plan of the Shield.
Oh yes, it's been a picture-perfect game plan.
Look at this. Look at the strength. We're talking about a man that could deadlift over 800 pounds, bench press 575, and Big E with a heart even stronger than that, and a one-man electric chair with all of that power. May have bought himself some valuable time against the NXT champion in this one-fall title match. You cannot discount how this matchup may progress with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose both at ringside. In a match made by our commissioner, Dusty Rhodes, to be no disqualification. And that's no ordinary clothesline from a man with a massive strength and the striking ability of Big E Langston, looking to become only the second ever NXT champion. Quick step, the quickness and the impact, and a double clothesline. 2/3 of the Shield almost knocked out of their boots. Big E trying to endure, and now again a 3-on-1 assault in this title match with no disqualification. The viciousness, this pack of hyenas looking to physically dismantle, to physically dissect Big E Langston. And wait, here goes the men from the locker room to try to even the odds, to get it back to one-on-one, but to no avail. The Shield is too much to overcome. And yet another wave from the locker room, trying to eliminate Ambrose and Reigns to make this a one-on-one match. It is a brawl, the proverbial Pier 6 brawl here at the NXT arena. And Ambrose and Reigns being beaten by several men, and they are retreating. And Rollins cannot believe what has transpired. The NXT champion now indeed one-on-one with Big E Langston, with a title on the line, and what a blockbuster. The cover, the hook of the leg, no! Rollins incredulous, can't believe he got a near fall and not a 3 count. This capacity crowd here in the NXT arena chanting 5. Oh my God, the strength! Good God Almighty! Oh! The impact from Big E Langston. Will this do it? The leg is hooked. And we've got a new champion.
Who's your winner? And new NXT champion, Big E Langston.
Big E Langston is a soldier, ladies and gentlemen. He is a one-man army, and Big E Langston is the NXT champion.
As far as I'm concerned, Jim, Big E Langston could retire with the NXT Championship, because who's going to take it from him?
One of the most extraordinary pure athletes we've ever seen in NXT or anywhere else. The massively strong, the amazingly intense, than we ever could. He overcame the odds. He fought through hell. And Big E Langston is the NXT champion. What a moment here on NXT. History has been made. Big E Langston overcame seemingly insurmountable odds to power his way to the NXT Championship. What a phenomenal athlete. An amazingly gifted young man has achieved a lifetime dream of becoming the #1 man in NXT. And we can only ask, what is next for Big E Langston? What an amazing moment. What an amazing athlete. An historic night on NXT. Big E Langston is the new NXT champion.